there was a booze-soaked drive involving lasagna and a swimming pool. There's a diva who may have lost her voice after 2 years of actual hell. And then there was another booze-soaked celebrity weekend in the Turks and Caicos, courtesy of yours truly. No, this is not an episode of the Days of Our Montecito Lives. This is randomly just another week in Hollywood, because you know those fools, they can't help themselves. All right, here's the rundown today. We've got Britney accuses her mom of murder and offers cops lasagna during her DUI stop. Huh? Yeah, me too. Then we've got what the hell is going on with Mariah? Whoa, I mean, she's had a rough 3 years, and now some people are saying she might have lost her voice. I've got the video, you tell me. Then we've got my crazy weekend in the Turks and Caicos with Taye Diggs, Jesse Eisenberg, Boris Kajo, Nicole Ari, some housewives. And by housewives, I mean housewives, because no one ain't ever done no dishes. And of course, extra special, Doug loses his mind. God, I love that kid. What can you do? You know, all right. So first up, wow, we got Britney. Yeah. And the videos came out, and I got to tell you, it's not pretty. So we're going to go through this first one. This is the phone call that got her arrested.
See, what are you reporting?
I'm reporting a erratic driving person as of right now. They're driving a BMW. We are heading on the 101 northbound, in and out of lanes.
What color? What is it doing?
It's in and out of lanes, erratically slamming on the brakes. It's almost sideswiped a couple vehicles. It's driving at high speeds. I'm just worried that they're going to crash into somebody and hit.
Yeah. All right. So I got a couple things to say about that. Number one, when I have reported in the past that Britney was seen driving erratically and seen drinking at places and going off, of course, every now and again, you get people who are like, stop that. No, it's not proven. Yeah, it is proven. There have been other videos of her doing this. And this time the cops were on the ball and got her. I say this time, notice she almost swiped some cars. Then here goes the other video. And again, it's not pretty. I'm not reveling in this. This actually makes me quite sad. We'll get into exactly why after. But again, I have met Britney many times over the years. Granted, it was in the early 2000s when she was much younger. This is not something I revel in. All right. We're going to discuss everything at the end. Here we go.
Hi. While we're talking, can you
Scared of
can
me.
we turn the vehicle off? While we're talking.
Can you go up there and do it so I'm not out on the street in front of everyone?
Yeah, like I said, we'll be right here on the sidewalk.
No, can I go follow you up there so I'm not on the street with all these people?
What if we have you get out of
My
the car?
baby's right down there in our hotel room, please.
Here, how about this? What if we have you get out of the car? We'll put you in one of our cars and we'll drive around the corner so we're somewhere that there isn't a bunch of people driving by.
No, I don't want to get in your car, sir. You can come to my house. I'll make you food and lasagna or whatever you want. Oh, I have a pool. My babies are coming to my house tonight to go to. So, I have a huge pool.
Please get out of the car.
Okay. So again, there were a lot of people after this DUI. They're like, she's not on anything. Oh my God. Yeah, guess what? She was. She admitted in another video to being on Adderall, Prozac, and Lamictal. Lamictal is used for bipolar disorder. Prozac is used for anxiety, depression, and other things. And Adderall, she didn't have a prescription for. They also smelled alcohol on her breath. She claims she'd only had one mimosa hours earlier, yet we all know a mimosa don't last on your breath for that long. So other things she said during this. This is insane. She told her mom in another video you hear, she goes, my mom killed somebody and she never got in trouble. Why not? And everyone's like, excuse me. And then there were allegations of murder. And yeah, it turns out that Lynne Spears, her mother, did, in fact, in her biography, write about a horrific accident that it was raining. She was in Louisiana and there were two kids on a bike and a car was coming the other way and she knew she couldn't swerve. There was nowhere to swerve. She honked. One kid got out of the way. One kid didn't. Yes, the child died. But I think it's fascinating that this is such a thing wrapped in Britney's mind. Well, you can kill someone and get away with it. So the cops stop her and she's like, I mean, my mom actually killed a man on a bike, but I never did that before and nothing happened to her. Why don't they arrest her? Why did my mom get away with everything? I'm not sure her mom got away with anything. There are things called accidents, and I don't know the thing that happened in Louisiana, but it is kind of bizarre that Britney thinks that absolves her of everything, and that makes it okay, and that go after my mom, not me. Then, of course, here's a story about her mom and talking about this. And her mom did kill a 12-year-old boy in Kent, Louisiana. This is horrific. This is also insane that Britney thinks that she shouldn't be pulled over. She should be able to follow them over. She did nothing wrong. And I mean, in the case of her mom, Lynne, I'm not excusing anything. A kid died here, but it was rainy. It was dark. And that is an accident. Britney doing drugs, drinking, and driving, that is not an accident. Oh, God. It's really upsetting. And then this is about, the book continues, Lynne had said, in a split second, I could see two young boys riding their bikes on the road. And that flash of time, I had a sick sensation that I would hit one of them, that it would be impossible to not to. As I knew my car would not stop no matter how hard I slammed on the brakes. One boy managed to get his bike out of the way, but to his friend, a 12-year-old boy whose house was right by the scene of the accident, he was hit. Lynne was not charged for the incident. Page 6 reported on Thursday, additional footage taken at the scene showed Britney failing a field sobriety test and telling officers that she had only had one mimosa earlier in the day, saying, I could probably drink 4 bottles of wine and take care of you. I'm an angel. Yeah, here's the deal. God bless you, Britney. I'm about done with this, though. And let me tell you why. I like Britney. All right. I understand she wasn't raised by people who really knew what they were doing. Yes, she made their money for the family. Yes, she was their cash cow. However, at some point, why didn't she pull a Lindsay Lohan? Remember when her and Lindsay and Paris Hilton were all hanging out and everybody was a mess? Well, Lindsay also had a lousy family that didn't know how to raise people. Her dad was drunk. There were allegations of abuse. Her mom is also drunk and used her as a cash cow. And Lindsay Lohan literally at one point said, enough, stop, cleaned her act up, moved to Dubai, married, has a kid, lives in true privacy in Dubai, and now has a career again and is an adult taking care of her children. Britney, back in 2009-ish, had that mental breakdown. Now, I get it. Again, she does have bipolar disorder. She does have some other things going on with her. She was put into the conservatorship, which in hindsight, not a bad idea. However, the problem is it was run by her father. These things should never be taken over by family members, because there's always a look of impropriety, right? And when she's on her medication, when she's doing it properly, when she is kind of watched and around people like a conservator, whatever, she's okay. We've seen her spiral ever since. Again, this is not the first time. We have seen her drunk since she left the conservatorship. Again, I'm not mad at Sam Asghari. He married her. He thought the woman in the conservatorship, the one on her meds who was evened out, was the woman he was going to marry. But guess what? No. Mm-mm. Anyway, what I'm really pissed about is, so she gets the DUI, right? Then she says, no, I don't want to go into a treatment program because no, if I do, I'll lose my freedom. I'll do this, I'll do that. Everyone around her now, her manager and her lawyer, those are the two people that she super trusts, are like, no, you won't, but you need help. And then they convinced her to go because along with her two sons, which also pisses me off, she was never really a mother to them. Now, here's the deal. Was she given the ability to be? No, she was in the conservatorship, but there is a reason why the boys did not want to be with her. And again, Kevin Federline writes about it in his book. And he basically said, no. The boys would spend time with her and they'd wake up and they would see her holding knives over them. She freaked them out massively. Couldn't do it. By the way, thank you, Christine. I appreciate your support. And the thing is, they chose not to be with her. And also she's childlike. And we've seen this. She has major issues, all right? She thinks she can deal with them on her own. Guess what? She can't. All right. She did go to rehab because finally it got through to her that on her May 4th court date, the judge would not look kindly at her if she didn't seek some sort of treatment and be seen to be taking this seriously. However, she left after 2 weeks. Now, I was definitely told they were hoping for 3 months, 1 month at a minimum. And one person around her even said, I hope it's forever. She left after 2 weeks, checked herself out, went right back home, said, I can do it, has been telling everyone, I can do this on my own as long as my boys are around me. Talk about emotional blackmail. Britney, not effing cool. This is just, you're supposed to be the adult. These are two now grown-ass men who have never had a mother, all right? They're going to be looking for their mother. They may end up like Prince Harry, married to a woman who he thinks is like his mom. But regardless, Britney, now at this point, is only all about Britney. She leaves, and in the couple weeks she's left, she's got mandated psychiatric and psychology. So one can prescribe, a psychiatrist can subscribe, and a therapist can do talk. She has to go see a therapist twice a month, a psychiatrist twice a month, I believe, for a year. And it's all these sorts of things. So what does she do? The first week she gets out, or she's out of rehab, the judge sends her down. She's like, great. She takes her driver. Thank God she's got a driver now because she's also not allowed to drive, and goes straight to a liquor store and causes a commotion. Then she also then goes out and causes more of a drunken commotion. Britt, you don't got it. This is not going to end well for you. I've been covering celebrities for TikTok 26 years. And you can kind of see what's happening. Brittany, I'm begging you, man. You got to understand. Yeah, you know it. You've got bipolar. You've got depression. You've got anxiety. You've got some other stuff. You also really like your alcohol. This is not something you can deal with on your own. So it's my personal plea to you, Brittany. I know that you do watch a lot of stuff. I know you read everything about yourself. And you got addiction issues. Deal with it. Your boy should not have to deal with this. All right. Now, on to our next story. I love this woman. This one I love more than Britney because, by the way, Mariah Carey, she my girl. She is. I've known her for years. On my 30th birthday, several years ago, she I was in Nobu in New York. I look over, there's Mariah with a date, some hot dancer. You know, she loves a hot dancer, and God bless her. I love a hot dancer too. And she looks over, she's like, hey, sent over so much sake. I waddled out of there, went into like, again, this is when I was 30, waddled out, and I was like, "Blah." My best friend Betsy from growing up went over and was like, freaked out. Mariah said, I love your boots. Betsy still can't fit into those boots properly, but she will never get rid of them. You know, so I would run into Mariah all the damn time. And she invited me to her kid's baby shower for Moroccan and Moreau, rock and roll. And unfortunately, I couldn't go at the time. Now, here's what's going on with Mariah. All right. It's not been a good couple years. I'm going to show you something because this has upset a lot of people. And I got a lot of blam about this. This is her performing early April at a Tiffany event in New York, a cappella with a piano. This does not give me pleasure to watch, you guys. All right. So I got sent this. There's some other clips where it's really off. And now that one, it's fine, right? Like if you were a girl at karaoke, people are like, oh, not bad. Clip, clap, clip. For Mariah, let me tell you why that freaking blew my mind and it hurt me so bad. Number one, she looks sad. She looks depressed. She looks like she's about to cry on that stage. And people are wondering, by the way, Lizzie, thank you. But here's the deal. People are wondering right now, did she lose her voice? Oh my God, what's going on? I got so many messages. What's wrong with Mariah? Is it drugs? Is it drink? Is it this? Is it that? And no, it's not. Mariah herself does not drink that much. She is not on drugs. She is a wonderful mother to her two kids, Moroccan and Moreau. She's pretty much the only parent because, you know, Nick Cannon, the baby daddy, is baby daddy to 12 other kids and who knows how many more. And he's come out and said, oh my God, I'm bipolar too. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. Whatever. He's so gross. He creeps me out. But when he was with Mariah, fine. He better not have cheated on her, is all I have to say, because I love her. And people don't get this about Mariah. This woman is a fighter. She is a survivor. And she has been through hell and back, right? I think I've talked to you guys before about Tommy Mottola, her former husband, the guy whose dream was to be like a Gambino mobster, and pretty much was. He was the head of Sony. He was her boss / husband / manager, kept her imprisoned in their house in New Jersey, had the house bugged, had all these security guards following her around, reporting back on her every move. This is when she was like 19, 20, right? This is also her boss. He controlled and he owned her in every single way possible. And she finally got the balls up to leave him, was like, I'm out. And he was like, really pissed because you don't leave the mob, right? And she got out. She got Virgin back in 1999 to give her a contract. He finds out what her new debut solo album is going to be called, or not, what all the tracks are on it, gives it all to Jennifer Lopez, pretty much, and has Jennifer Lopez's album come out 2 weeks before her album Glitter was supposed to come out, so she's to scrap it and do everything from scratch. She had a movie, Glitter. I mean, I freaking love Glitter, but then again, I'm kind of a gay man. And the movie, the album finally came out. It bombed. It also came out right after September 11th, 2001. It was hideous. It was just the worst year. That's around the time she had her nervous breakdown. So she is a survivor. Unlike Britney, she took care of her shit. Now, she is also having a hell of a time recently. And I just want people to be really understanding. There's been some headlines in the last couple years, or last year, sorry. Oh my God, Mariah's lavish lifestyle sparks financial strain, including staggering $8.6 million in mortgage debt. Girl, please. That was page 6. And realestate.com comes out a month later. This is last year, by the way. Mariah Carey reportedly racked up $18.6 million in mortgage debt. Why? That's a smart money move. Because guess what? It is. It's a beautiful apartment, by the way. Stunning. It's in Tribeca. Gorgeous, right on the roof, 2 levels. It looks like a Moroccan paradise. Then, of course, this year, the New York Times finally comes out and says she's listing it for $27 million. And of course, then you get the people going, oh my God, does she need the money? You know, pulling their hair out. No, she doesn't need the money. She's worth $300 million. All right. She doesn't spend any time in New York anymore. She lives in California. And I know that people like Nick Cannon, her ex, has jokingly said it cost Mariah $100,000 just to walk out the door for hair, makeup, blah, blah, blue. All right. So what? I mean, she doesn't walk out the door that much. She's kind of a loner. She doesn't have any concerts coming up for this year or next, except for her seasonal Christmas concerts. And now getting back to her voice, my friends saw her in Vegas and they said she not only did not lip sync, she sang every song and it was fabulous. So I think she's having a rough time, and here's why. She's had a hell of a last couple years. She broke up with her longtime boyfriend 2.5 years ago, Brian Tanaka. He's a nice guy, really nice. It just isn't going to work out. The thing about Mariah is, who the hell you going to date? You know, you got to find a real special person who's not going to literally be just absolutely intimidated, freaked out, and be able to put up with somebody who's like, yeah, I'm a diva, so what? But also who's going to be a hell of a lot richer than you, a hell of a lot more powerful. Then, obviously, in 2024, her mother died and her strange older sister, Allison, died. Now, We know that her sister was in and out of hospice. This is not an excuse at all. But her sister did have mental problems. Her sister had addiction problems. Her sister had been a prostitute for a while and also had all sorts of diseases. Then her only living relative, her brother, Morgan, sues her because Mariah had dared, I tell you, to write her, biography and criticized Morgan, basically saying there are allegations of childhood violence. And, our memories are our memories. There's a reason why Morgan has never been around. Mariah has never hung out with him. And that there's also a reason why she married Tommy Mottola so young, to get the hell out of an unstable, violent home. Anyway, Brian sued her. And she then, January last year, had to be deposed. The lawsuit is still ongoing, and she is stressed as shit. She literally has no family, doesn't have familial support, and her kids are 15. They're lovely kids. I hear from people that they've got beautiful voices and that they go to school and that they are great. And fuck yeah, Mariah, excuse my language. I am Team Mariah all the way. She fulfilled an obligation for Tiffany, and it might not have been her best day, but the voice is not gone. Boom, December. And you know what? I'm going to support the shit out of her. When she goes back on stage to promote Christmas, I'm going to be there, front and center. All right, now on to some more happier, bizarre news. This was my weekend. Remember when I told you I went to Turks and Caicos? Oh, by the way, there's somebody who's saying Mariah Carey has bipolar disorder. Well, does or doesn't, she at least takes care of herself. She at least sees people. She at least, unlike Britney, ain't saying, I can do this on my own and then plays a fool. No. Mariah takes care of business. All right, back to Turks and Caicos. Et voila. Yes. All right, so I did an unusual thing. Somebody invited me down as a bit of a junket for the opening of Treasure Island Beach in Turks and Caicos. It was beaches, resort. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? And they're like, there's going to be all these celebrities there. And yes, there are 2 pictures of Boris Kodjoe up there because... okay, first of all, he and his wife, Nicole Ari, who were in Sex and the City, let's just have a real discussion because I didn't know where to look. You meet them, they're perfectly lovely. Holy crap, really nice people. And they're talking to you and you're like, you're so good looking. What is going on? Like, you want to poke them to see if they're AI. They are not. Now, I talked to Nicole. Boris tried to talk to me at one point. My mouth got so dry. I just went, yeah, I'm still a weirdo teenager. He was like, my mother was German. My dad is from Ghana. And I'm like, I was in West Africa once. I mean, super sly girl. Anyway, that's my girl, Kelly Killoran. She's hilarious. She's been filming that new Housewives series that E picked up with all the original New York Housewives, except for Jill. Jill got kicked out. I was wondering why they kept Sonia, with the eyes. And also, I don't know. Sonia's not necessarily the biggest value add. She just talks and talks and talks and says some stuff that is questionable. You know what I mean? Also there, Jesse Eisenberg and the girl in the middle who is so lovely, and Chad Michael Murray. Jesse Eisenberg, can we just discuss for a hot second? Dude, this guy is like the nicest guy in the universe, all right? I was struggling with a couple bags trying to get in a door at one of the restaurants. And I hear a guy go, hey, I got it. I got it. And he opens the door, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this nebbishy guy in a baseball hat. And I'm like, oh, God, thank you. I appreciate it. It was Jesse Eisenberg. What a good guy. Like, literally, thank you to Jesse Eisenberg's parents. You raised him right. Then he caused a bit of a massive commotion at the Turks and Caicos airport because apparently he's with his, his friends, whatnot, and he's just trying to grab all his stuff and lost his passport. Then freaked out, was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to call, whatever. It was a little chaotic. Apparently someone found it, and you can't exactly go over the loudspeaker, like paging Jesse Eisenberg, paging Oscar winner Jesse Eisenberg. So they finally found him. It was all good. And Chad Michael Murray, I will say, caused a huge disturbance amongst all of the gay men who could not stop looking at him, freaked the hell out. We're like, oh my God, where's Chad? Yeah. Okay. So this is me at one of the beach parties with my friends. That is coffee I'm holding, nothing else. And of course, hold on, what? The mermaid. Look at that. Now, I love this little mermaid. She was a local mermaid. And I call her the Turks and Caicos Daryl Hannah because every night during the big bashes, she also performed as a butterfly stilt walker. So on land, she had legs, and on water, in water, she had a tail. Yeah, it was a good time. It was like 4 days, 3 nights, and I'm kind of still getting over it, but I had to come back because I have to move. Now, finally, as I promised, we've got one final thing for you guys. This is, before we go, it's what you've all been waiting for, I'm sure. It is the turd bird. Whoop. Whoa. There we go. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm going to do it. Where do we go? I'm sorry. Who made a little nest here? Who made a little nest on the sofa? Yes. Is it you? Yeah. It is you. It was him. Yes, my boy. Oh my God. I don't know why he makes me laugh my butt off because, you make the sofa up nice. The next thing you know, he's ripped down all of the pillows, all this other stuff. And all he wants to do is just make his weird little nest and then kind of hide and look up. And of course, he's got his basket of toys, which he flings the top off of. And if he's really mad, he'll push the whole basket onto the floor and just have like Toy City. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate you. Now, meanwhile, you guys, thank you so much for spending Memorial Day weekend with me. It's rainy and disgusting in New York, so I hope it's better where you are. And if you're not American, I hope you're just having a decent weekend in general. All right, like, subscribe. It still kind of boggles my mind that like 60% of you guys don't subscribe. But yeah, hit the bell, get the alerts, and I will have something with Kinsey Schofield this week on some more Royals for the Order of the Lobster members. All right, you guys, thank you again. I super appreciate you. Take care.